Dang, cowboys.
I loved Kevin Costner in Prince of Thieves.
Yes.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was one of those movies that I was obsessed with. Okay, so when I was a kid, I'm about to be vulnerable here. What I used to do
This is a safe space.
I would get like a tape recorder and put it up next to the TV.
Yes.
And I would record on a cassette tape.
Yes. Murphy. He got a lot to say.
Murphy's home. I would record. Is it crooked? Totally.
Maybe Tab.
So I would get a tape recorder and I would put it in front of the TV while the movie played, and I would record the entire movie on cassette tapes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And then later, I would go take the cassette tape to my room and play it, and I would act out the parts. And I would like lip sync the parts. So I was Maid Marian in that movie.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I would act out the whole thing because it was like just the sound. It's like I was doing very long TikToks back in the 80s.
Her for TikTok.
I think it was the 90s when that came out.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I did that far longer than
1991.
You should have. So I was 10 or 11 then. That's normal. But I probably did it even when I was like 15.
That's fine.
It's fine.
That's fine.
It was also, it made me very happy.
Yeah, right. If that's what kept you entertained, then why not? That's a simple, innocent pleasure.
This came up because Kara was talking about how she started watching Tombstone.
Tombstone?
No.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
I do love Tombstone. Megan's obsessed with Tombstone.
And Kevin Costner is
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I loved him.
Ages
I've always loved him.
Well.
Dances with Wolves, great.
Yeah. Anything.
Baseball, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Field of...
No.
Nope.
I mean, yes, Field of Dreams, but that's not what I'm talking about. With Susan Sarandon. And
oh, my God, yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm so angry that I can't think of it because it's great. It's so great. Okay.
The Untouchables. Field of Dreams.
I know that
The
one.
Highwayman. Oh, Open Range.
This is a Kevin Costner appreciation podcast now.
God, he's in a lot.
Am I thinking of the wrong movie? I can't be. No, I'm not. Okay, come on now.
I do love Susan.
Bull Durham. Wasn't he in Bull Durham? Yeah. Kevin Costner, right there. Okay. Bull Durham. Such a great movie. All right. So we are here. Did we say this is the Witch's Magic Murder Mystery Podcast?
Hey, guys. I'm Kara.
I'm Megan. Okay.
This is Olive.
We probably have to get you closer again. Olive's here. She's asleep. She's precious and perfect and wonderful.
She's so cute.
We are here with a full episode.
Yep. In person.
And we love it. And I don't have COVID.
Oh my God. We didn't get it somehow.
I know. Miraculously.
It was great.
I still don't understand how. I think we talked about this on the Patreon episode, but we haven't recorded one of these yet. The reason why we had to skip a random week in the middle of all that was because I got COVID.
COVID attacked her.
The day that I held Olive for an hour.
I think it was the day that she was like, guys, I've somehow beat this.
Yeah, and I did get a couple Instagram messages on our podcast account. They were like, weren't you just bragging about how you hadn't got COVID? And I was like, mind your business.
Don't come at me.
It's like the one flex I had on people, and now it's gone.
No, you don't have that.
I know. Now what am I going to brag about? How will I feel superior to everyone else? We're going to have to come up with something. That Megan, she's a jerk.
We don't like her anymore.
Okay, so full episode today, and going back to my roots. Missing person. Going back to my roots.
Showed up and boom.
Ruined your black tie fair. I noticed, by the way, in an episode that we recorded, I'm not going to put this on, but you said, my hands are sweaty. And I missed this golden opportunity to be like, are your knees weak? Are your arms heavy?
Oh my gosh.
Do you eat your mom's spaghetti? I was so upset.
How did you miss that? Oh God.
Wow. Failing. How did we decide this boy's name was said?
Eddie Spaghetti.
Negrete. Spaghetti.
Yep.
It rhymes with spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
We determined that by watching a YouTube video. So if we're wrong, it's
go after that person.
His fault. Mm-hmm. It is not how I would have pronounced it. I was definitely going the wrong way with it. So I think Negrete.
Spaghetti.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Negrete
Triggered
spaghetti?
To hear about Negrete?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure am.
Michael William Negrete
Mm-hmm.
was born on March 25th, 1981.
Okay.
His dad was an engineer. His mom was a teacher. I think she was actually a professor at a college.
Mm.
Michael was this funny, popular kid. He was super into video games, especially like the multiplayer online games.
Oh, yeah.
And it also sounds like he was really big into pop culture. Like one article called him, hi, baby.
Gosh, guys, gosh.
Oh, gosh. Megan keeps talking. I love her. I'm going to melt into a puddle on the floor. Okay. One article called him a walking encyclopedia for everything related to Star Wars and The Simpsons.
Oh, my God. Oh,
so he's
The
great.
Simpsons.
Mm-hmm. So a girl he dated at one point said that her favorite thing about him was how he could just quote movies and TV shows verbatim. So he does sound really fun. I know. Michael was also really into music, a passion that he had discovered in middle school. He played trumpet in the school orchestra.
Oh.
Do you play any instruments?
No, sure didn't.
I play piano. Not well.
Would you say the recorder is?
Mm-hmm. I'd count it.
That's yeah.
Ella is like learning how to play piano. We have a piano in the basement, and she's watching TikTok videos to teach herself how to play like different pop songs. Yeah. It's really cute. And she's pretty good. I'm impressed with it. So I bought her a Taylor Swift book of music, but she's not really, I'm trying to teach her to read music, but you know,
it's so hard.
She's just like, or I can watch the TikTok video.
Yeah.
So it's cute. I also played the clarinet in 5th grade. And if you're going to be like a cool kid, the clarinet was not it. It was not the thing to play, at least not in 1991 in Lancaster Elementary. No. The cool kids played the saxophone or the flute.
Ooh, I was going to say the snare drums.
I don't even think we had percussion. I don't think there was any of that. It was just like wind instruments and horns. And there I am with the clarinet, which was
everybody just staring at you.
Hard. It's so hard.
My brother Josh played the drums.
Mm-hmm.
He's still probably pretty good at it.
Yeah, like once you got older and there were drums involved, obviously that's the cool thing. But I played the clarinet. I can't remember why. Somebody had a clarinet, so that was the thing that I got to play because it was free.
Thing. Oh, yeah.
No, it was just that's what my parents could afford.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so Michael loved John Coltrane, the famous saxophone player.
Yes.
And Michael's AOL handle, AOL, was even Train Fan 1 because he just loved John Coltrane. That's pretty great too. It's a pretty cool, like musical idol to have, you know? After middle school, Michael attended Long Beach Polytechnical High School.
He was a polymath.
And people knew his love for and gift of music. He played in countless performances and made friends with another musician, a guy named Chris, who taught him how to play the steel drums.
Okay.
In 1997, Michael and his family moved to San Diego. Again, Michael is just this funny, talented, likable guy, so he had no trouble making friends when his family moved. Is that a dog?
Yeah.
So he had no trouble making friends when his family moved, and he joined the marching band at his new high school, Ranch Bernardo High.
Ranch Bernardo.
He also played in a band called Island Fever. I think he played the steel drums in that band from 1997 to 1999.
Oh.
I assume he stopped playing with them because he went to college.
Oh, okay.
And they said that they would do performances at like the San Diego Zoo and everything. So it wasn't just at school events. He would also kind of be out in the community playing. And Michael wasn't just the popular, funny guy. He was also super goal-oriented, and he got straight A's in school.
Okay.
And it wasn't just like he wanted to jam out with his music, although he did enjoy that.
Right.
And sometimes he and his brother would have these really long jam sessions. But Michael also wanted to go on and pursue higher education related to music.
Oh.
His senior year in high school, he joined the San Diego Youth Symphony, playing the trumpet, which was a huge accomplishment. And he applied for colleges with prestigious music programs and actually got a music scholarship to UCLA.
Oh.
Michael was thrilled and immediately committed.
Right.
So, in the fall of 1999, Michael moved into his dorm room on UCLA's campus on the 6th floor of, oh, dang it. That's the word I meant to look. I remember to look up his name, but not this one. Dykstra. Dykstra? What else? How else would you pronounce? Dykstra Hall. Let's just call it his dorm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On the 6th floor of the dorm room. Dormitory.
Dorm living quarters.
He made some new friends, but also kept in touch with some of his high school friends too. So that guy, Chris, who I said taught him to play the steel drums, I'm not sure if Chris went to UCLA with him or if they just stayed in touch.
Yeah.
But Michael, Chris, and another guy started their own steel drum band too. So Michael's just kind of staying busy, playing in bands, keeping his music stuff alive. The fall semester begins, and he's doing great. He made a real impression on people at UCLA. Some of his professors referred to him as a musical prodigy.
Oh.
His grades were perfect, and he had a lot of things going for him.
Yeah. That's cool.
Then on December 9th, 1999, Michael attended classes and then performed at a music concert that night. He got back to his dorm after the concert and joined in a birthday celebration for one of the guys that lived on his hall. I know, I'm like right back in college, just remembering all these kind of things. He had a margarita, joined in the party, and just was his usual self, outgoing, friendly, funny. He had a good time.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. December 9th, 1999 was a Thursday. So I'm assuming they either didn't have classes the next day or he just skipped them or something. Because finals week was the following week. So I'm thinking maybe they were actually off to prepare for finals. So the party goes pretty late into the night, and Michael goes back to his room around 3 o'clock in the morning, but he wasn't ready to go to sleep yet. Remember, he's a gamer. So
Are you
awake? You want to hear about Michael Negrete? No.
Are you hot? Do you want me to take my sweater off? It's going to be great for the podcast.
The party goes pretty late into the night, and Michael goes back to his dorm room around 3 a.m., but he wasn't ready to go to sleep yet. And remember, he's a gamer. So he logged on his computer to play Quake, which I never played, but I remember hearing about it. Like, it was a pretty big game back in the day. I also love video games, but like...
She did too.
Yeah. Do you love video games? Mostly like arcade stuff, like Castlevania and Super Mario Brothers and like all the, the original stuff. And then when I was in college, I was really into like Resident Evil and the whole Resident Evil series. And all just the creepy, scary games, obviously. Very on brand.
The original Sims.
But I never did play Sims.
No, my brothers played it.
I never got into the multiplayer games. That was the thing. I always just played like, my friends and I would get together and we would play these games. We'd stay up all night playing Resident Evil. We'd get stuck. We'd go find the cheat things, like the walkthroughs to help us get past parts. But I never did play any of the like online multiplayer games. Anyway, Michael actually ends up playing against a guy who lived down the hall from him. And this guy won. So then he and Michael met up outside their dorm and like high-fived. And Michael made some kind of joke about winning a potential rematch. I'm sure he's just like, I'll get you next time. You know, enjoy it, dude, because you're going to lose. And then at 4 a.m., do you remember what it was like to just be young and stay up all night? Olive, what's it like?
What is that life like? Because I'm a zombie at that time.
I probably got 12 hours of sleep my entire first semester of college.
Yeah.
And my grades reflected it. It was not good. I was like a straight A student. I go to college and I'm like, what?
What is this?
What is all this freedom I have? I'm just going to
do it.
Who needs to go to class when you can just not sleep?
Right.
Yeah. My social life was great. my academic life, not so hot.
No,
social
that's
life,
what college is
outstanding.
for.
Yeah. Anyway, 4 a.m. Michael's back. I said this. 4 a.m. Okay. Michael's back in his dorm room, and his roommate sees him before drifting off to sleep. Like I don't know if his roommate had stayed up the whole time too, or maybe he just like woke up when Michael came back in. But at any rate, his roommate saw Michael around 4 a.m. And then drifts off back to sleep. And then when his roommate wakes up later that morning, Michael's gone. His shoes, jacket, instruments, and wallet were still there. But Michael was not. And apparently the shoe thing was...
What is it? You have a lot to say. Are you telling the story now?
Apparently the shoe thing is particularly weird because Michael hated walking barefoot and never left his room without wearing shoes. I know. I don't know that life.
No,
I'm barefoot all the time.
I love to have my shoes.
I'm barefoot right now.
Yes. Same.
So now it's the weekend, right? It's Friday when he disappears. And Michael didn't have any other obligations. So nobody got super concerned about it until the following Monday when he didn't show up for his first final exam.
Oh.
And again, Michael's like
a straight A student.
Right. Super goal oriented.
Right.
He's made a big impression on his professors.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he wouldn't just blow off a final.
Right.
So that's when people from the school got in touch with Michael's parents. And I think they were like, is he with you? Like,
what's going on?
Know where he is? Because it would make sense as his parents that if he's not here, you probably know where he is. And of course they didn't. And they immediately report him missing.
Okay.
And everyone kept hoping he would just show up. He had 2 more final exams. He didn't show up for either one of them. There was like one of the campus police officers kind of set in on one of his exams just to see if he showed up. Yeah. He never did. He had a performance scheduled. He didn't show up for it, which was also bizarre because he loved me. He's like, he would not just blow things off, right? UCLA responded quickly, and several people around the campus started donating and volunteering to help search. Many of them contributed to a reward for finding Michael, which this eventually grew to $100,000.
Oh, my gosh.
And then another $19,000 was donated toward search efforts.
Oh, wow.
Police began formal search efforts on that Monday, December 13th. UCLA's campus is 400 acres.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. What? And so that's where they started. And they searched, obviously, his whole dorm, the garbage chutes in his dorm and everything. Yeah. But they also searched the whole campus, including elevator shafts, underground tunnels, every construction site on campus, and a wooded area behind Michael's dorm. They brought in search dogs and everything, and they found nothing except there was a bloodhound that picked up a scent that went from Michael's dorm and ended at a nearby on-campus bus stop. And Michael didn't have a car, so it makes sense that he would be on the bus.
Okay.
And then a local bus driver was like, you know what? I did pick up 2 students about 5 hours after Michael disappeared. And one of those students did kind of look like Michael. But then they end up figuring out that the bloodhound had actually tracked a different scent. Like, it was tricky because, like, it's this dorm and it's a hallway where they're in and out of each other's rooms. And there had been a party that night. So the bloodhound had actually tracked the scent of a different student, not Michael.
Oh.
So that lead led nowhere. Police also questioned Michael's friends and other people who knew him, placing particular focus on the people who were at the party that night.
Okay.
Nobody saw anything weird. Like I said, Michael was just his usual self. And sure,
his roommate saw him at 4 a.m.
Right. And like, nothing weird happened. He wasn't acting strange. There was nothing at the party that happened, like no conflict whatsoever.
Yeah.
He had some alcohol, but like, I mean, he's a freshman in college. They all do. And nobody acted like he had any like excessive. I mean, he did go on to play the game later. So like, he was obviously not
wasty pants.
Right. And so this is wild to me. But police had every single person who went to the party take a polygraph test.
What?
I'm like, where are your parents? Did they allow that?
Why'd y'all agree to this?
Right. 2 of those showed deceptive answers and 1 failed completely. But it's a polygraph test.
I would fail it just sitting down.
Right. And okay, so these are college students. And who knows? Oh, wait.
Why are you yelling at us? Am I making you hot?
2 showed deceptive answers and 1 failed completely, but it's a polygraph test. And these are college students who might be worried about any sort of thing, right? Like getting in trouble for being drinking or drugs or whatever. And so I don't put much weight on those test results. And one of the sergeants involved was even quoted in the San Diego Union Tribune saying that the findings could be inaccurate due to the way the polygraphs were conducted at the time, whatever that means.
Right.
Hi. No.
Hi. Okay, so we know Michael disappeared sometime after 4 a.m. when his roommate last saw him, and 9 a.m. when his roommate woke up.
She has a lot to say about that.
Hi, what do you think? So now, as a security measure, his dorm had like hall monitors set up. So like to get into the dorm early in the morning like that.
Right. A lot to say to you.
I know. You're so happy. You're such a happy girl. I love you. Hi.
What are you telling her?
I know. Do you say I love you? I love you too. That's what I thought you said. Can you all see her? Because she's so freaking cute.
Oh, she wants to.
Look at our Starbucks hanging out there. We
I know
even
all
drank
of it.
So if someone wanted to enter the dorms, during the early morning hours, they had to show their student ID. So when police questioned the door monitor who had been on duty that morning at the dorm, they were like, we never saw Michael exit.
She's got a lot to say about this.
We never saw Michael exit or re-enter the building.
It's like she's trying to say what you're saying.
I know. You can't talk at the same time I'm talking. That's not how conversations work. I'm just kidding. Me and Kara talk over each other all the time. I love you so much.
She's turning her head too.
She's blinking her eyes like she's trying to stay awake. You know you're sleepy. Okay. They said they had never noticed Michael trying to exit the building. Listen, we're talking about a really serious topic, and you're making me sound happy about it. I need to sound serious. Oh, yeah. She goes, yeah.
Here, talk to the people.
She is. I love her. God, she's so cute. Okay. When police questioned the door monitor who had been on duty that morning at the dorm, they said they'd never noticed Michael exit or attempt. It's like you just don't want me to say this sentence, but it's important. It's important. It's important. I know. Okay. They said they had not seen Michael exit or attempt to re-enter the dorm. And they also hadn't seen anybody else suspicious try to come in either. They hadn't seen anything suspicious at all.
That's wild.
Then the search went beyond the UCLA campus. They went to hospitals, homeless shelters. They checked out clubs where people played music because they were like, oh, yeah, if he just left on his own, maybe he's out there watching music because that's a thing he would do. They talked to neighborhood teens in the area to see if there was anything going on in the rumor mill. Like, had anyone... You're so chatty. You're so chatty.
Oh. I thought you'd sleep the whole time.
We got 4 more pages to get through, kid.
She thought that was funny.
I know. She's like, you think you're going to get through 4 more pages? Yeah. I don't even care. Okay. They talked to neighborhood teens. Okay, see, now you can tell I'm smiling while I'm talking, and I shouldn't be smiling while I'm talking. You're just looking at me like, This YouTube video is chaos. There's just no episode this week. There's just none.
Just Olive.
Oh, baby. Do you think I can talk now? They talked to neighborhood teens to see if there was anything in the rumor mill. Like, had anybody seen anything or heard anything? Was anybody talking about it? And nothing. Nobody uncovered any kind of dark, dirty secrets, no hidden life, nothing dangerous that Michael was involved in. Like, there's nothing here that points to, like...
suspicious activity.
Right. There was basically no leads at all until 2000... Until July. There were basically no leads at all until July 2000 when a new witness comes forward. And I say new witness, but this witness says that they did talk to campus police back when Michael first disappeared. And that police just didn't take it seriously.
Okay.
But the campus police kind of dispute that, so I'm not really sure what happened.
Right.
But the witness said they had seen a white man in his 30s inside the dorm near Michael's 6th floor room. And so then they hypnotized the witness, which I'm like, Whoa. Okay.
You did?
And under hypnosis, the witness describes the man for a composite sketch. He was reportedly
wild.
wearing, I know. I mean, I'm surprised they went for the
Yeah.
hypnosis, but he was reportedly wearing a gray jacket with a turquoise design and was described as white, 35 years old, 5'7" tall, with a heavy build and no facial hair. This man has never been identified.
Time traveler.
Yeah, clearly. Then there's also a witness, and it might be the same witness. I'm a little unclear on that too. But he says they saw someone who looked like Michael outside of the dorm building at around 4:35 in the morning.
Okay.
But then the security person says that they didn't see Michael leave.
Right.
But there's always you have to allow for human error.
Yeah.
Like maybe the security person just wasn't paying attention. Maybe they'd gone to the bathroom. Maybe they were. Did they have phones in 1999? I think we did, but not. It was like the phone where you played Nibbler.
Yes. Yes.
There was no smartphone. So I don't know if they
Well,
were
flip
distracting.
phone.
Yeah. So if you're like me and you always have this moment of maybe it was Israel Keys
Always.
whenever someone disappears in the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
I did sort of look into that. And nobody has connected Israel Keys to this one. It's 1999, so a little early. Like they don't think Israel Keys was active until 2001.
She got to eat her hands.
I know. And going into a college dorm wasn't really Keys' style.
Yeah.
It seems like he usually either stalked his victims or he hung out in places where some unlucky person might stumble upon him. So going out and just walking through a dorm in the middle of the night doesn't sound like him. Also, I don't think anyone has ever said that Israel Keys had a heavy build at any point.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think, but I just always think of it. Hi,
Why
sugar.
are you so mad?
Hi. Do you want me to sit there this whole time? Do they still make bumbos?
Yes.
We should get her one of those. She can just sit
Yes.
here and we'll have her face
Yes.
out. She can just look at
We will
everybody.
get so many views.
Okay. Michael's bank account, social security number, and grocery store card have not been used since his disappearance.
Okay.
There have been no publicly identified suspects or persons of interest. And honestly, they don't even have any theories. Like, we do know that police don't think that Michael left his dorm willingly that night because he'd left his wallet, shoes, and basically anything that meant anything
Right. Anything of value.
to him in his dorm. Detectives told a local paper that they'd investigated. Oh, hi.
She's mad. I turned her around.
She's like, excuse me, I want to see Megan.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Hello.
She needs to talk.
Hi. Oh. I love
She
you.
said, "Oh, there you
I know.
are."
I want to look at you all the time, too. Detectives told a local paper that they'd investigated all sorts of angles, including Michael being lured into a religious cult or overdosing on drugs. It is believed that Michael is dead and his case has been classified as a homicide.
Okay.
Detectives working Michael's case consulted a homicide profiler,
Oh.
which this is really interesting. It's
Yeah.
an expert who tries to solve crimes using statistical data and criminal psychology. Huh?
Yeah?
Huh?
Were you one of those in a past life?
You are going to be a podcaster one day. You know it. You're just learning just to talk. Just to talk all the time.
No.
Just to say all your words. I bet you talk really early.
She probably was.
Because she heard, like, while she was inside you,
Yes.
she heard all of our talking. You're going to know so much about true crime.
Oh my gosh, you're going to be just. Oh.
Okay. Detectives working Michael's case consulted a homicide profiler, an expert who tries to solve crimes using statistical data and criminal psychology. And the profiler advised the detectives that they had more than likely already interviewed someone who knew what happened.
Oh.
Right? And so one of those detectives was like, I just don't see it. If we've already interviewed somebody who knows what happened, we don't know it. I don't know it. I've been fooled. And if that's the case, man, I should just retire right now.
Oh.
Which it is weird to think about, but like, I mean, there's nothing to go on.
Right.
He was there and then he wasn't and nobody
Oh.
saw anything.
And then that's sad that he's like, well, I'm just going to quit my job if I don't know how to do it anymore.
Yeah, they did talk about how like they've lost sleep over this case. There's like 2
Aw.
detectives now who just have it on their load, and they work it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
His parents had to deal with all this while still raising his 2 younger brothers. And I can't imagine what that must have been like. They were super involved in the search and doing lots of things to keep his name in the news.
Yeah.
So people just wouldn't forget about it. And then they also got involved in some legislation that I'll go to in a second.
Ooh.
They started a website called findmikenow.com.
Okay.
And on that site, they posted a note that said, Michael, we love you. We miss you terribly, and we think about you constantly. Our greatest wish is for you to contact us and let us know that you are all right. We will never give up looking for you. That website is gone now.
Okay.
And
She said, huh?
I don't mean this as a criticism. So it's definitely not a criticism. It's more of like a curiosity.
Right.
I wonder.
What made them just let it go?
Right. Because websites aren't expensive.
Right.
And I just wonder if it was something maybe for their mental peace.
Right.
They had to just be like, it's been
There's too many fake
24
alerts.
years. I mean, I'm me in math. I'm like, it's been, can't carry the, I don't know what it's been. But, maybe they were just like, we got to let this go. This website hanging out there forever is just like weighing us down. Like, I know the strangest things can really get in your head as like a negative thing. And maybe they just needed to let that go.
Right. Or they were tired of updating it constantly because how things
Or
change.
having nothing to update,
Right.
Having nothing new to say for years. Because there's really been nothing. I don't know what to make of the fact that the website's gone.
Right.
And maybe it's nothing. Maybe with social media and Facebook, they're like, we don't have a website for the podcast because we're just like, we've got a Facebook group and Instagram and
it's
TikTok.
more active that way. Yeah.
We haven't felt the need to have a website yet. And maybe we will at some point, but right now we don't. And maybe they were just like, we don't need a main website either. We've got Facebook.
Right.
But I couldn't even find a Facebook group or anything about him. It's been so long. There's really not much on there.